Hey guys, and welcome back to the Devine Witch. I'm your host, the Devine Witch, with my coffee that I've heated 5 times this morning to try to get through 1 cup. So, you're probably asking, what is this video about? Well, I'm about to tell you. This video is to kind of give you an idea of what's going on in my life, so you know what to expect, along with some updates as to what you're going to be seeing over the next couple months here on the Devine Witch. So let's dive into it. Okay, so first and foremost, I know that you guys have been telling me your suggestions for videos, what you want to see, what you'd like to see. I haven't forgotten them, and it's not like I'm putting it off. Currently right now my life is crazy, and that's why I wanted to make this video to kind of sit here and explain. Like, literally at this moment, this is the first break I've had to myself in like the last 5 hours. And I've got a feeling I'm going to be on my phone till probably about 8 o'clock. So, let's get to this. So what is kind of going on in my life that is making it hectic to where my video uploads for Monday are like almost non-existent. So, here's what's going on. I can't remember if we had this conversation. I feel like we do. We did. We do. We did. Do. Yeah. As you guys know, my brother was dealing with a drug issue and went to rehab. Well, he ended up leaving the rehab facility about 3 weeks ago, due to the facility was not what he was told it was going to be, which I totally understand. Especially after the saga of trying to talk to staff there. And every time I've talked to staff at that location, it has been an inconvenience, it seems to them. And the way that they have talked to me, and I've recorded for my own files that I have, it is interesting to say. And I do not blame him. So what's going on with him? He is sober. As far as I know. Like, I've seen him every day. He's been doing check-ins every day, and when I say check-ins, it's either physical check-ins or call check-ins, once in the morning and once at night. Which, part of me is like, leave me alone, let me have some me time. But then the other part of me is like, I'd rather him let me know what's going on than not. So, also, another thing with him and that whole saga, give me a second, I'm going to try to move this a little bit, is I actually have to set up his doctor's appointment and stuff like that. He's got a doctor's appointment today, which he should be attending at this moment, and then I've got to set him up a dentist appointment, I've got to set him up his psychologist appointment, and eye appointment, because his eyes are bad. So, there's that. So, that's the whole saga going on with him. Okay, so like literally I'm taking care of his life because he needs someone to actually help him, because he's never paid his own bills. He's never set his own doctor's appointments. Like, he's always had someone to help him because of his mental status. So if there's weeks where I don't post or you don't see me posting, that's a portion of why I haven't posted, because I haven't had the time to post that, because I am his POA. So I have to make sure that he's okay, he's got what his needs, and everything else. So, besides my brother, what else is going on? As you guys know, it is school season, and I have 2 trolls that I have produced in this world, and one of them is probably you're going to see with a ramen bowl somewhere. Oh, she's grabbing a paper. Hold on. Troll number 1. The first one, the firstborn, the first troll of the trolley trolls. There we go. See what I mean? So they're both in school. Now, for anybody who does, there's the second one trying to hide from the camera. So the second one, with her, my beautiful daughter, even though I joke and call them trolls, because sometimes they just troll me. But with my second daughter, I actually have to stay with her throughout the day because she's in an IEP, and since she does her stuff online, I have to help her, you know, with either assignments or talking with a teacher, which that's another thing. Currently, right now, the scheduling is like chaotic. I'm trying to get a set schedule because it helps me mentally know what's going on, where I have to be, where she has to be, you know, the whole 9 yards. Like, I'm one of those people. Like, if I don't know what I'm doing, it's chaos, and I don't like it. So that's kind of what I'm going with them, tech issues, all that thing. Anybody who has a kid will understand. Anybody who doesn't, keep those fur babies. You know what I mean? Like, good luck. But that's kind of what's going on. So then let's get to the Devine Witch stuff, right? That's what you guys are probably waiting on as well. So going on with the Devine Witch stuff, we got a few things going on. I had told you guys about the binders. If you haven't known, you're about to know again, because I'm going to reintegrate this, and I'm going to try to drink this coffee so I don't have to heat it for, the 6th time today. All right, so I'm going to try to grab these without, doing crazy stuff. So currently, this is our About Us binder that I'm working on for events. Whether it's an event that we're doing information table or an actual event for us. And then, I'm working on the staff book as well. And then, just to show you the chaos, somewhat controlled, this is actually for my house. So like bills or stuff for the kids at school, stuff like that. And eventually, I'm going to get me a binder this week for my stuff. So like Devine Witch stuff that I have to do. And, priestess stuff and wedding stuff and life. And somewhere in between, I've got to start getting my Book of Shadows together and actually implementing it. The reason I say that is because I've had a call this week of like, hey, you need to work on your Book of Shadows. Okay, I got it. After a week of talking to people, and that's been the current theme. So that's what's going on. Now, as far as like the books that go with the Devine Witch, I'm working on different policies. I'm working on photos and videos that we've added to try to add some of the photos to these as well. And then get our events situated. And then I got to go through and get our little color tabs and mark each section so that way people can look depending on what they're looking for. So that's what I got going on with that. Then another part of the Devine Witch is, events. We got certain events that we're planning behind the scenes. This Friday, I am actually meeting with a photographer for the Devine Witch shoot that we want to do in October. We have not posted an event yet for that or information. I want to get with her because we're going to do a partnership since, I got Devine Witch stuff. I would love to have somebody who's professional photographer for, our events that we can work with and network with. Along with, if I do weddings, I would like to have my own personal photographer so that way I can post that and it's professional grade photos for online, and it also goes for myself as a priestess, which brings me to another point that I'm going to get at. So I don't like to count my chickens before it hatches, but in a Devine Witch, also my own personal path, I've got a section that I am writing for a book for another author. I sent that in over the weekend. I'm waiting to hear back, see if I need to make edits and stuff like that, or even if they want it. Because it's one of those things you submit it to them. They had asked me, 99% sure that they're going to take it, but you never know what the actual publisher wants to do. So cross your fingers, because if that happens, then that allows me on my own personal path to be able to eventually get into that publishing and write my own book, and that would be a goal of mine that I've had ever since I was young, because I always loved to write. So that's kind of what I got going on, Devine Witch stuff and all that. Plus, we got the Dayton Pagan Pride Day event, which is happening September the 18th. So that's coming up. So I'm trying to get stuff for that. And then we're working towards having a youth group. Now, we tried this a couple years ago, but we really didn't have people who were able to do certain things. And, we didn't also have someone that had that knowledge of, like, profit faith organizations that dealt with the youth and how to implement them and things like that. So now we got someone on our team, which, by the way, eventually you're going to start seeing videos of our different team members, because I want you guys to get used to them and seeing them, because we're going to have times where they're going to come on, they're going to talk about different things, different uploads and things like that they're going to be doing. So you won't only see me no more. It'll be a variety of people. At least that's the goal. And also with the Devine Witch, the StreamYard, I'm going to be paying for that this week. So that way we'll have that from now on, which that's about $20 a month. So that way we can do interviews, we can do discussions, we can do Q&As, we can pull people up who want to be in it as well. Give me 1 second. Okay. So there's that going on as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like Devine Witch related. Another thing, September we're not doing no events for the Devine Witch. We're actually going to do a camping trip for the staff. And the reason I say that is because, you know, for me, I try to get around the fall as, you know, my year, right? Because we got Samhain and, you know, the Wheel of the Year and all that. So to me, that's my Wheel of the Year, Devine Witch staff stuff and all that. So September the 10th, 11th, and 12th, I will not be available. If you call me, if you message me, if you email me, you will not hear back from me because I am in a forest somewhere with a bunch of witches and no cell reception. So please let that be known. Another thing to kind of go in with Devine Witch stuff and also me, as you guys know, I've been trying to work on my own personal schedule so I can have that balance between life and everything that I do. And Sundays, Saturdays, I'm not doing no Devine Witch stuff. I'm not doing no outreach. I'm not doing no readings. I'm just putting that out there. And I had talked about this before, and I was going to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I'm like, you know what? Friday, it's not really too bad. It's kind of a relaxed day around here. But Saturdays and Sundays, I want to dedicate to my family and my husband. Because I feel, honestly, like I'm not getting enough time with my husband. It's like I'm working on all this stuff. He's doing stuff in the house. And we're not getting couple time. And that's not a good thing. And I want couple time. You know what I mean? Like, except for maybe like an hour or two after the kids go to sleep and no one's calling me. That's another thing I want to talk about when it comes to anybody who has my number. Do not call me after a certain time unless we have a reading scheduled and we've talked about it. And the certain time I'm going to give is 6 p.m. Do not call me after 6 p.m. I don't care what day it is because that allows me to go from 6 p.m. to like 9 p.m., somewhere around there, 10-ish, to have time for my personal self, me, you know, so I can keep my sanity, so I can work on the things like my Book of Shadows and other stuff like that. So from now on, 6 p.m. is not going to be, you're not going to be able to get a hold of me. Now, you may see me on a live till 6 p.m. or maybe like 6:05, but that's a live, you know what I mean? That's a different realm. So I kind of want to give you guys an idea of what my schedule is, but I'm going to try to pick one that doesn't really have much in it. Okay, so this is what I've gotten to the point to do with my life. Like, I got me like a little key note here, and I'm going to go through and start, you know, keeping ahead of my appointments so I have something in front of me that I can actually see and be like, I can't do that day because I'm doing this. So September's already full. October's starting to get full. November is probably going to be my slow down month, and December, depending on what happens, who gets a hold of me, and where my life takes me, because that's just life. Also, when we're speaking in terms of October, from October the 23rd to October the 31st, actually, let's go to November 1st. I will not be available for readings. I won't be going live during this time. I will have uploads to get uploaded for you guys, so there is some content. But the reason why is this. We've got a Devine Witch get-together happening on the 23rd. And then the 24th is my day to spend with my family. From the 25th to the 31st, I've got a wedding to prep for, which is that Saturday, I think. No, Sunday. That's Sunday. And then that Friday that week, I've got a witch's ball to go to for an information booth for the Devine Witch. And Saturday is kind of like my buffer day to kind of calm, relax, and get ready for the actual wedding. So it's not really being calm. It's more of like, I'm in my own environment. I'm in my own home. I can be lazy if I want to, kind of thing. So that's kind of what's going on with me and my life and the Devine Witch and everything I got going on. Now, we are going to start having discussions about, different events that we want to do throughout the year. We are taking some of the feedback that we've got from people who attended events as well. So, that's something that's going on. Another thing that you're probably going to see within the next month is a Devine Witch Amazon list. And you're probably like, why do you need that? Well, there's some things that we want to get, like walkie-talkies for when we're at events, especially, when we're doing Witch in the Woods. We also want to get some stuff for, supplies and things like that. And I know we had talked about, as a group, that we wanted to get some kind of box so that way it could be like a lost and found. We can put all of our supplies in it, and then we can use that to travel from one event to another, and it's not as hectic. So that's one thing that we got on there. You're probably saying, well, don't you have Patreon? Yes, I do. But with technology and the growth of what we're doing on this channel, that's slowly eating up at the Patreon. And as you guys know, from September all the way to December, we want to save whatever we got left after all them chunks are out, so that way we can do toys for kids or for a family. So that's kind of what's going on all with that. And like we said, we're putting it out there whether someone gets it or not, or whatever it is. Eventually we're going to get those items, whether it's going to be by my hand, someone else's hand, or one of you guys want to donate because something good happened in your life and you want to share the riches. It's up to you. It's not something that I'm pushing people towards. It's just one of those things. If you want to do it, it's out there, just like our Patreon, just like our sponsorships and all that. Like, it's just there for you if you wish to. Let me see. Is there anything else that I need to talk about that would be prevalent to you guys in the next couple months? Yes. So speaking of the 24-hour live. So when we were supposed to do the 24-hour live, I ran out of my voice, or my voice went out, I should say. And during that time, I still didn't get to give my voice a break, but as you guys can tell, I am a lot better than what I was. So, we are shooting for November. What's going to happen is that last week of August, it's kind of another reason why I told you guys I wouldn't be here, is I'm going to get a hold of all the people that we're going to be talking to, who's going to be on the channel, on that StreamYard that day, figure out what their schedule is, what day works for everybody in November, set that day in November, and then do that 24-hour live. So, that's coming up. Also, in November, I'm going to have my birthday, so probably the weekend prior, which would be the 13th and the 14th, all the way to the 16th. I will not be doing lives. I will not be here. You can't get a hold of me. You can't get readings between that time, just because I want to spend time with me, my family, and my baby girl, because me and my baby girl share the same birthday. So I want to have fun with her and do that. Also, speaking about myself and my growth and things like that, that's one thing that I haven't talked about to you guys, is what is going on with me in my own spiritual path. So one of the things that is going on with me in my own spiritual path is, I've had a calling from Loki. So for the last couple months, I've been doing my research, actually longer than the last couple months. Realistically, I've got stuff that I printed out about a year ago from the different, times that he's popped up, but it's been more prevalent and when I actually dedicated myself. So dedicated, 2 months. Actually researching about a year. So with that being said, I got to start learning some things with the actual Norse path. So I'm starting to read. I've got a book upstairs that I've got halfway through that I was going to finish this weekend. And I've got a list of other books that I'm going to read along with, there's some people helping me out in the community, local and abroad, as far as learning new things. So it's kind of like a whole process with that. And then, of course, I've just organized my spiritual room. And it's going to look a little bit different. Because I feel like my background just isn't, cutting it. So I'm thinking about moving my stuff closer to my altar so you guys actually see my witchy stuff in the background and make it more aesthetically pleasing. So that's going to be a thing probably within the next couple months. I'm not going to say it's going to be in a week or two. I'm just giving myself, a big chunk of window of time and then, go from there. So that's going to be happening as well. Also, when it comes to Devine Witch stuff and here, we're going to start getting a tablet to have at events as well. So we can start tracking our, our crowds and stuff like that to kind of get a gist of, what events do good, what events don't do good, what times, what days, stuff like that. And then, once that year is completed, we can go back through and we can look at that. So that's going to actually start on January the 1st. So any event that we have from January 1st, 2022 to the December 2022, we're going to actually be looking at that. That way it gives us an idea of what type of events people want to come to, they want to see, they want to enjoy. I'm also partnering right now with Starr. If you guys never heard me talk about her, I actually did mention her in the Laying Hands video. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. If you haven't seen Starfire Queen, go check her out. I'll try to make sure to link her down below. I'm actually going to start being featured on her channel and her group. I believe. I think that's what we've discussed. But me and her's actually got to get together because it was like, hey, you want to do this? Yeah, I'll help. So you're going to see her. You're going to see probably me over there on her channel as well. And she's a local witch. She's in Columbus. And she's beautiful. Like, the woman is gorgeous. And she's also super smart. She comes from a pastoral background. And now, you know, she's having this religious journey. And it's very interesting to see. So if you're someone who came from a Christian background and you're still trying to learn, you know, that between Christianity and getting into your actual spiritual path, I would highly recommend her. I know that she was talking about in her personal path that her channels can become more geared towards hoodoo and voodoo. So, you know, you're actually going to get that from a source who's learning about it. It's their culture. They want to explore it and, you know, share that knowledge with people and help give them avenues as well. So that's another thing that is going on in the background. And I think that's about it. So we've covered almost everything that I have, I believe. So hopefully this explains to you guys why, you know, videos haven't been as best as they could being uploaded, or I haven't took some of your suggestions, and this is just kind of why. You know, and I know I've done quite a bit of life updates in the last couple months, but, you know, if I don't do these updates, then you guys are going to be like, why have you been gone? Where are you at? When are you coming back? Which, speaking of coming back, I will be doing tarot readings today from 4 to probably like 5:30, 6 o'clock. Just depends on how many people we get. So, with that being said, I think I've said enough. I think I've covered almost everything I want to cover. And so, with that being said, thank you guys so much. If you have any suggestions or things that you would like to see, you know, as far as on this channel, or, you know, you want to learn about a certain path, you know, we'll try to get someone from that path to actually come on here. We'll ask questions and things like that in the Q&A. So, without further ado, I'm going to say thank you guys so much for being a supporter. Thank you guys for toughing it out. And I promise you, we will start getting video uploads for the content that you're wanting to see, along with things that we want to share with you that we're doing and things that mean things to us. So, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, because that's the only way we can grow. And always remember, no two witches witch alike.